So let's check our work on those two practice problems on part B using these new formulas for the volume of a pyramid and a cone. So when you're doing these, you start out just the same as you would for a prism. So identify what your base is. This one has a base that is a rectangle. This one has a base that is a circle. So that part's not different. So the first step for both of these is finding the area of that base. So for this one, base is going to be 10 times 8, which is 80. And for your cone, area of the base is pi times the radius squared. And so that is pi times 7 squared, which is pi times 49, which ends up being 153.9. Okay, so that's the first part for both of those, just like you would for a prism or a cylinder, is just find the area of the base. Then we're going to multiply that by the height. So the next step is using that piece, the next part of our calculation. So I'm going to do volume is base times height divided by 3. So we're going to do 80 times 6 divided by 3. So on this one, 80 times 6 would be 480. And so remember that 480, that would be the volume of a prism with a base area of 80 and a height of 6. But since this one doesn't have a matching roof, it goes up to an apex instead. And that's our apex up here at the tip top of these. Instead, we know that this thing has the volume, 1/3 the volume of the prism with the same base area and height. And so the last step is just dividing that by 3. And so 480 divided by 3 is 160, and that is cubic inches. Okay, and for our cone, same idea. So we're going to use that base area now to find the volume of the cone. So volume is going to be 153.9 times 15 divided by 3. So 153.9 times 15 is 2309.1. So that would be the volume of a cylinder with the same base area and height. But the cone is 1/3 that volume, so we're going to divide that by 3. You could also multiply by 1/3. It's just doing that with a calculator is a little bit more complicated. It's easier just to divide by 3. You have the same result. And so when we divide that by 3, we get 769.69. Yep, that's the volume of the corresponding cone. So now that we've got these examples done, go ahead and try doing the practice problems down below. And I've highlighted one or two to be careful of. There are a couple of these, in particular, number 4 and number 8. So be careful on those. Those are still pyramids. They just have triangles for bases, and they're kind of hard to visualize with the two-dimensional drawings. But I've highlighted that base triangle for this one in blue for number 4. And that base triangle for number 8 would be this bottom part that's shaded here. So that's the base triangle. And then you're given the height and base and height for both the base area triangle and the height of the pyramid itself. So again, find the area of the base, treat it just like any other triangle, base times height divided by 2, multiply that by the height, and divide that by 3 to finish that problem. And then once you finish working on each of those, before you get too far, check your answer using the answer key kind of off to the side here. So make sure you are showing your work. In case you need help, then I can look in your OneNote and see what you did and point out where your mistake might be if you're struggling with these. And if I get a lot of questions about the same problems, what I'll probably do is put another video in the content library on this worksheet going over some of the problems that most people had questions on. So good luck on those. And thank you for tuning in and doing some of this work during school closure. Hope you're all well.